Right. So let's talk about player rating tonight. Let's start from the goalkeeper Sanchez. So what's your rating for Sanchez?
I'm not giving him higher than a 4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
he got lucky. The fact that the goal got disallowed,
Yeah.
but the fact that he was able to let that ball go underneath his hands is unforgivable.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's the first time or a one-off mistake. This has happened continuously throughout the season. Yes, he made an important save near the end, but I think that was just like really lucky last-minute reflexes to get down low. But yeah, I'd say 5 maximum for Sanchez.
Yeah, I believe tonight was Sanchez Day. I mean, it's one of the best performances I've seen this season from Sanchez, to be honest. But at the end of the day, yeah, he made a blunder, and I think that reduced everything from my own side.
Yeah.
If he had not done that blunder, I would have given him a 9/10 because he saved a very crucial goal.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I can't let go of that blunder, and that shows how Sanchez is. So from my side, I'm gonna rate him 6.5.
Yeah.
So
Luckily, he didn't have much to do all game because Spurs' attack was quite minimal. They didn't do much. They didn't challenge us as much as they should have. But like that one mistake, even though the goal didn't count, just
Still, yeah.
tragic.
Yeah, so let's move to Malo Gusto.
Malo Gusto, it wasn't his best performance. I don't think I think he's had worse games in a blue shirt, but I think he's playing with underconfidence at the moment, and I think the inverting role is just not suiting him. Cucurella is much better at inverting. We saw him do it last season. We saw him do it at the beginning of this season. But today I saw him. He was really pinned down to that left back role. Gusto, I often saw, was drifting into the midfield. It just wasn't suiting him. And then towards the end of the game, I don't know what the strategy was, but we saw him at left wing, and I just thought that didn't make any sense. But for Gusto, I'd give him a 6/10 because he wasn't horrific.
Yeah,
But, and I feel for him because he's playing a lot of positions where he's probably just not used to. He just needs to stick to that orthodox right back, bomb down the wings, put in crosses and stuff. But can't give him more than a 6/10.
Yeah, I just consider the fact that he's just coming back from injury and he played the full game. And to be honest, I could see it's a little. To me, I felt like he did the job very well. We couldn't ask for more because for a player coming back from injury, and sort of changing of position in the second half. I mean, last 10 minutes. I really did this job very well. So I'll give him 7 because consider the fact that he's coming back from injury and giving that kind of performance.
Gusto's been in and out of the squad. When Reece James has returned often, we've seen Reece James gets priority as he should. And even though he's been playing out of position a lot, all things considered, he was pretty subtle. I think the first half he was quite shaky on the ball, which is my only criticism of him because there was quite a few misplaced passes from him. But aside from that, at the end of the day, the defence kept a clean sheet, so can't be too disappointed.
Let's move to Chalobah. Chalobah coming back into the squad, and I think tonight. We didn't miss Fofana, to be honest, because this lad really did his job very well. To be honest, I won't be biased, and I keep saying it. Chalobah is another different player. He's always ready to give his best to this football club. It's so unfair to see how we're treating this guy, and I'm still very much worried that we're gonna sell him for profit at the end of the season. But overall, I think tonight he did his job very well, especially 1-on-1 against Solanke, and so I think he had a very good game. So I'm gonna give him 8 tonight, because to me he really impressed me.
I agree. I think Chalobah was our best defender on the field tonight. The way because Spurs were very. Launched a lot of counter-attacks, and Chalobah really kept a calm, collective head. He dealt with almost every attack that was thrown his way. He was very good at heading the ball away. A very few times he gives away a sloppy, unwanted pass. Just solid at the back. Spurs struggled to break past him, and that's what we want from our defenders. And he took the London derby. He took the passion. He knows what it means to put on the Chelsea top. And you're right. It's a shame the way he's being treated, but Yeah.
Yeah, so let's move to Colwill. I think it's a little bit quiet tonight.
Yeah.
Well, really did some great jobs, but we want more from Colwill. I mean,
Yeah.
we want to talk about him every time. I think he's the kind of a player that we really rely on. We're hoping he can sometimes get man of the match. I mean, I'm just expecting more from Colwill because we're looking at him as a future defender. You know what I'm saying? A future
Yeah.
probably captain or something like that. But tonight it's a little bit. To me, I feel like it's a little bit. I mean, quiet.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't give him too much, but overall, we didn't concede too much. I mean, we didn't concede goals, so it's part of what you can, accolades you can give to the defenders because they didn't concede goals. So
Yeah.
I'll probably just give him a 6.5.
You know what? I think Colwill, I'll give him a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think Colwill has been like quite nervy in past matches. He's made quite a few mistakes. I think Colwill tonight was one of his better games of the season. He didn't do much. He didn't really put a foot wrong. It was unlucky that he was deemed offside in the build-up to Caicedo's goal.
Cucurella, I almost forgot Cucurella. Amazing. He's been brilliant since. I mean, 2025 is a year for. Cucurella. He's been brilliant. We can't criticize him, to be honest.
Yeah.
At all costs, we can't criticize him. He's been amazing, up and down. And tonight, he had his usual performance. So I'm giving him an 8 for tonight because he really did well, especially had to handle. I forgot this guy's name, and I'm giving him an 8 for tonight.
Yeah, Cucurella was really good. He's really coming into his own this season, which I'm really glad. You can see his coming as defender. It was building last season, and then he built further. Spurs bus is right behind us. Boo!
Brother. Again.
Oh, that's funny. You see everything when you stay after a match. But yeah, Cucurella had a really good Euros last year for Spain, and I'm glad to see he's like really building on it. He's really he's a unique left back. You don't see many left backs bombing up the pitch, going into that number 10 role, and Cucurella weirdly does that really well. He pops up with goals. He's popped up with assists. He's been solid. He's been solid at the back. He gets his tackles in. Really impressed with him.
So what are you rating him?
8. 8.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So Caicedo, is my man of the match. To be honest, this guy's. I was like, I thought he was going out when he fell in the first half, but. It's very important to have this kind of a player that doesn't go into injury. That's one thing I really appreciate about Caicedo. The fact that he keeps fit and always ready to go game after game, man. I really do appreciate this a lot, and he's my man of the match tonight. I can't ask for more from this guy, to be honest. He's my man of the match. I mean, it's not possible to give him 10 of 10, but he's my man of the match. Yeah.
Yeah, Caicedo is a rock. Caicedo is just solid defensively. He can pop forward. We've seen him score goals this season, and when he's put the ball in the net, they've actually been really good goals as well. So he's got a really good, powerful shot on him as well. I'd say he would have been a strong contender for my man of the match as well if that goal had been allowed. I feel like in a way he was robbed off that goal. It was perfectly executed first time, edge of the box. We need players to shoot and take the initiative, and we had none of that in the first half. So I'm really impressed with him. He's been solid all season. Just because he doesn't get the goals and assists that other midfielders in the league do, like Declan Rice, Rodri when he was fit, people often underestimate the value of Caicedo, but he's always there. He's always there to mop up messes that our defence makes when they're shaky. He's just everywhere.
Yeah. So, what's your rating?
My rating for Caicedo is going to be a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Yeah. So let's move to Palma real quick. Yeah. I don't know what to say about Palma. We need him to put the ball at the back of the net.
Yeah, you know what?
But average performance, I can't say much about him because it's just a player you can't criticize as well. But overall tonight, he really did well. Yeah, but I couldn't give him more than a 7.
You know what? I feel Palma, in recent weeks, this has been definitely been one of his better games. Palma, I feel he was involved a lot in the game. He got the important assist. It was a really good ball to Enzo, and Enzo put it in the ball in the net really well. Yes, he was quiet, and yes, we're used to having a bit more from Palmer. I still think he has so much more potential. I would have liked to see him shoot a lot more in the first half because he got himself in some really good positions. I don't know what it is, whether it's just his confidence or what's gone down, or he's coming back from a knock. But if he had taken a bit more shots, I feel like we would have seen a goal. He played a lot more balls to players like Neto and Sancho, where I feel like if he just took a shot from distance, the way Spurs are performing, the way that their goalkeeper isn't perfect as well, he probably would have got a goal as well. He got an assist, so I'd give him a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10.
Fair enough. So Enzo Fernandez, I mean, it keeps impressing me, to be honest. Coming back from international, what a goal in international he scored.
Yeah.
And he's back here and scored a very crucial goal today. And I mean, I think Maresca should have. I mean, at this point, Maresca is really enjoying Enzo Fernandez, the fact that he's becoming a box-to-box player, getting a goal. And to be honest, I'm really, really impressed about the performance. So tonight, perform as a captain and get a goal. What a performance from him. So I'm giving him an 8 as well.
Yeah, Enzo was my man of the match for me because he got the winning goal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you score the winning goal in a one goal match, I think you deserve to get man of the match.
Yeah.
I think he was in the second half. He was crucial. He was everywhere. He was really instrumental on our attacks and stuff. Whenever I saw a free kick and I saw Enzo was behind it, I felt confident that we're going to have a good attack coming out of this, because I think the ball or the crosses today from Neto and Sancho just weren't ideal. They weren't perfect today. Enzo really filled in that gap. He was creating chances. He played really solidly, really well, I think.
Yeah, so let's move to Sancho, Yeah, to me, nothing much about him, just a regular Sancho, nothing really special about him. I think he was kind of looking for possible means of scoring goals because he had a goal in the first leg, but he was unlucky. Most of his shot was blocked and he couldn't do much. So I'm not going to rate him much. I'm going to give him a 6.5 because you're expecting something very much more from a player like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't really give Sancho higher than a 6 out of 10. The only real thing to mention with Sancho was that chance he had in the first half where he forced the save out of... But aside from that, Sancho, he was poor the first half. He should have taken shots on. We needed the energy to be quite fast paced, and I think Sancho was slowing down the pace quite a lot because he was taking a lot of time on the ball, and that was allowing Spurs to catch up. If we had a bit more directness, a bit more intent, a bit more play out wide, get crosses into the box or something, I feel that would have been a lot better. But the way things are going, if the rumours are true, I'd pay 5 million and send it back to Man United.
But like you've just said now, I felt so much for him because it looks like he's feeling at home at Chelsea, and sending him back to United might be one of his biggest fall short, to be honest. Yeah, so one of the ball shot.
I'm Cucurella, yeah? You're not Cucurella? I'm not Cucurella. You look like Cucurella. I do?
Yeah, I just need the hair.
You need more hair to look like a Cucurella. So yeah, I mean, I feel so much for him. I wish he could get his form at Chelsea and just stay, because it looks like he feels so much at home at Chelsea. Sending him back to United, I think, I don't know, but we just have to stitch on what's going to work out for us. You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. I loved it at the beginning of the season when Sancho came in. He felt at home. Performances were good. I think if Sancho was to listen to this, or my message to Sancho towards the end of the season would just be, try a bit more intent. Try and showcase your ability a bit more. Try some new things. Try the ability to take some shots on, because when he has taken shots off, he has tested the keepers. He's very good, and he's very good at placement. I'd hate for him to, in a way, to go back to Man United, because that will kill his career. However, with the performances at the moment, I can't justify, especially with players coming in and stuff, and the levels we want to operate at, I can't justify Sancho at this level continuing with the squad.
Right, so Pedro Neto, amazing performance tonight. So
Yeah.
let me start from your side. What do you?
Pedro Neto, I thought was good. He was direct. He utilized the pace really well, and that's what we love to see from Neto. So, just I love the directness. I love the fact that he was getting onto balls. My only criticism with him was his crosses and his delivery of the final ball was a bit off the pace. Yes, a couple of them did take deflections off, but I think a bit more accuracy with his crossings, and it would have been a solid like 9 or 8 or 9 out of 10. I would give him maybe a 7 or 7.5 today.
Well, I think he had a very decent game, but like you said, most of the crosses are just wasted. It's not hitting the jackpots. It's just kind of pushing the ball into the box, but it's not, looking for the best position to put the ball to get the defenders into the trouble. But like I said, he's another player we really need in the game, and averagely, I think he did his job very well. So I'm gonna give him a 7. So Nicholas Jackson. What a game to have him back. You can't ask for more from a striker that's coming from injury. I think he really did his job very well. Put some pressure on the defense line. It's not quite easy to play in the middle of Van der Veen and Romero. These guys are very aggressive defenders. But I think he really had his own time as well. He was unlucky. Probably would have got a goal. But to me, I feel like it's the average performance from him. But like we've said, I think next season he needs a competition. He needs a competition. A competition might even probably help Jackson a little bit more to step up his game. But tonight I think he really did well, and I'm gonna give him a 7. For tonight again.
You know what, Jackson I thought was one of our more impressive attackers today. We really noticed how much we missed Nicholas Jackson when he came back into the squad today. He has got that ability to make good runs no matter what the defence is. As you mentioned, it was a very physical defence with Romero and Van der Ven. They get very physical, especially in a derby. They want to push and shrug players off the ball. They get a bit rowdy, a bit feisty in this sort of game. But Jackson handled it quite well. The only thing that was missing was a goal. But he's one of those players that in our squad, very few players that has the ability to create a chance out of nothing. That first half was painful to watch from our standards, because Spurs were there for the taking in the first half and we just didn't do anything with it. But Jackson had that really good chance where Sanchez played an iffy ball over the top. Jackson muscled the ball off one of the Spurs' defence, had to make a quick turn. It was unlucky that it dipped quite over the bar, but that ability, that instinctiveness to just take that shot on, very few players in our squad have that. So fair play to him, and I'd say 8 out of 10 considering return from injury as well.
So let's round it up with a substitution. I think Madueke is just the only substitution that I feel like we should talk about, because I think others just came in to make quite a bit defense, and we couldn't see much of Reece James. But I think Madueke was an impactful substitution tonight. But overall, coming back from injury as well, and he really fought hard. Came in and really did his jobs, and I think he deserves a rating as well. And overall, I think I'm gonna give him a 6.5.
Yeah, I think based on the brief cameo Madueke had, he was arguably probably our best substitution that we made. It's exciting to see him back, because what we lacked with Sancho in the ability, like running at the defence, taking the defence on and taking shots, Madueke provides that for us. Yes, sometimes he wastes a lot of chances, and if I'm being critical, the only thing I would like to see him do a bit more is track back and make sure like he's got that awareness around his defenders. But aside from that, all things otherwise, like Madueke is solid. He's been good. He's been excellent. He was our most impactful sub. There wasn't enough time to make a judgment on Reece James, but I think one honourable mention I would want to give from the subs is Dewsbury Hall, because at first when I saw Enzo came off for Dewsbury Hall, I was questioning Maresca's tactics, like what are you doing? Why are we bringing on Dewsbury Hall? Enzo's been arguably one of our best players on the pitch. We're still only 1-0 up. We need some attacking prowess. We need to get a second goal to put the game to bed. But Dewsbury Hall was getting stuck in a lot with the challenges towards the end of the game. He was slowing down the pace of the game. He was taking the balls out for corners. He was getting involved in the antics of it being a derby. So I was impressed with that. I didn't think we would see that at all from him. But the fact that in that brief, like 5 to 10 minute cameo, we did see him, fair enough to him.
Yeah, so guys, that's our player rating for tonight. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one.
Cool.
And hope you guys subscribe, like, and share the video. And yeah, we'll see you again on this channel.
Up the Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea.